Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, friends from Latin America and North America. Thank you for your time to join today's training session for liquid nitrogen container. My name is Jiao. I'm responsible for the North American market. As you may know about Haier Biomedical, we are a world-leading manufacturer of whole lines of cold chain equipment. And I believe some of you may have already saw our new factory in Qingdao with our major product lines of ULT freezer and pharmacy refrigerator. But now I'm standing at our liquid nitrogen container factory in Chengdu, Sichuan province, to give you this whole training. So now, before we officially kick off today's training, I'd like to first introduce my director, Mr. Li, who is also the director of North and Latin American market, to give today's opening speech. Because Mr. Li is not in Sichuan province, so his speech will be given online. Now let's welcome Mr. Li.
Hi, good morning, distinguished distributors from North America and South America. It is a great honor to again invite all of you join today's live webinar, specifically on the liquid nitrogen container, because this is a totally different category. Normally we call it cryogenics, besides the traditional mechanical fridge and freezer. Today, I'd like to give you an overall overview of the cryogenics business from Haier Biomedical before we move to the specific product training from my team in Chengdu, the pilot city of southern part of China. So basically, the first key message I'd like to deliver to all of you is we Haier Biomedical, we design, we develop, and we produce full range of liquid nitrogen containers by ourselves. This is our own factory. We do not outsource from others. We may know there are many brands in the market. They declare they could supply liquid nitrogen containers, but we all know most of them, they outsource from third-party companies. We all know the biggest, I think the worldwide top 2 liquid nitrogen containers, they are from the US. So we know some leading brand, they also outsource from those big manufacturers. Okay, so the first message is we produce all of our liquid nitrogen container by ourselves. We are the manufacturer. Okay, so this is the first message. The second is we are one of 2 best manufacturers in China. So another one is the globally #1 brand from the US. They have a similar factory in the same city where our factory based. So they are both from Chengdu, the pilot city in China. So in summary, there are 2 best factories to produce the liquid nitrogen containers in China. We are one of them. Another one is from the US. Okay, so the third message is we supply 2 types of liquid nitrogen container. Aluminum tank is basically for smaller capacity, and this can be divided into 4 different types: for laboratory, for transportation, for storage, and for mobile, function. Another is stainless steel liquid nitrogen container. Normally, it's the bigger one, more than 300 liter, all the way to 800 liter, 1,800 liter. This is mainly for the biobanking, for long-time storage, for the stem cell storage. Okay, so in summary, we supply 2 types its full coverage from an aluminum smaller tank and all the way to the bigger one, stainless steel, bigger tank. So for sure, later my team, my colleagues will introduce in the factory. The last message is for our certification. We have ISO 9000 and also the ISO 1345, which is specifically for medical device manufacture. Besides this ISO certification, we also have CE and MDD certified. We all know the MDD directive is only for medical device certification. So in summary, we have all those certifications from the factory itself and to the product itself. So we have both. So this is the full message I'd like to share with all of you before our product introduction. So we hope you will have a better understanding of our biomedical cryogenics business from today's live webinar. Thanks for your time. If you have any questions, you could drop us a message during the training. We will reply. We try to reply your questions online, and if cannot, for sure, we will collect your question and reply back to you later by email. Thank you again. Now I will pass to Joe to move to the product introduction part.
Thank you, Mr. Lee, for your impressive speech. Now let's move to the second part of today's training, that is the product introduction. For this part, me and Jane, we will introduce each products one by one, and after that, the third part of today's training is the summary, which will be given by Wenli, who's also the manager of Latin American market. And during the whole training, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. My colleagues at the background, they are very willing to answer your questions, both in English and in Spanish. Okay, so before I start my part, I believe most of you are quite familiar with the liquid nitrogen container, which is used for the long-term storage and transportation of pressure samples at minus 196 Celsius degree. And like what Mr. Lee said, we Haier Biomedical, we design and manufacture our own liquid nitrogen container. So to help you have a better understanding about the products we have, I'd like to classify our products in two major product lines. Number one is the stainless steel liquid nitrogen container, and the other one is the aluminum one. So for each product line, we have different products for different user scenario. So for this stainless steel product line, I'd like to first start from the YDD series. So for this series, the YDD series is widely applied in hospitals, biobanks, and many other user scenarios for the long-term storage of your precious samples. And first, I'd like to start from the naming of this series. The YDD, as you can see here, is the name of this series. And the number after that, 550, that's the capacity of this container. And the last number, 445, that's the diameter of the neck. So for this, now we know that this container, its capacity is 550 liters. So roughly it could store 40,000 2-millimeter vials. It's a very big container, but we even have a bigger one. In general, for this YDD series, this series is selected from 350 liters all the way to 1,800 liters. So this series offers large capacity, but what's more is that, like what I said, with the unique neck design, we keep the vibration of liquid nitrogen at very low level. So the safety of the stored samples are guaranteed. And what's more, the second major feature I'd like to mention for this YDD series is that this series it can be used both in vapor phase and in liquid phase. For customers who care about the safety of their stored samples, they want to prevent their samples from contamination, they can choose the vapor phase. And for customers who care about who wants to store their samples at a very low level, that is minus 196, they can choose the liquid phase. So in general, this YDD series, it combines two different functions into one container. Compared with other brands, I think none of them offers similar products. And the third point I'd like to mention is that I think most of you may had already noticed is that the 10-inch touch screen. With this 10-inch touch screen, it integrates many different functions, like you can check the temperature at the top, bottom, the bottom and medium. And also you can check all the other informations like the real-time temperature curve, the historical alarm records, and many other useful information. So in a word, it helps you to better manage the container itself. But what more importantly is that with this control system, we could inject liquid nitrogen automatically from another container to this container. And how could we do that? And now I'd like to introduce another series of the stainless steel liquid nitrogen container, that is our YDZ series. This series is widely used for the long-term storage of the liquid nitrogen itself, and in most cases, it is used for the supplement of liquid nitrogen from this container to another container. So because we are going to make sure the safety storage of the liquid nitrogen, so this YDZ series is welded by our automatic welding machine and combined with our unique vacuum installation technology. So this YDZ series, it offers better thermal installation performance. And what's more, to help realize the safety management of the samples, we have many imported parts from many famous brands like these valves. And here, as you can see, a gauge, you can check the liquid level inside the container. So it's very convenient for your daily maintenance. And that's all for the stainless steel liquid nitrogen container. Now I'd like to move to another part, that is our aluminum liquid nitrogen container. So I'd like to start from the YDS series. For this series, it offers smaller capacity compared with the YDD series, but it's also widely used in hospitals and research institutes. So roughly for this container, as you can see here, it is a 175 liters container. Roughly, it could store 6,000 2 millimeter vials. So with that large amount of vials stored in this container, the most challenging part is to guarantee the safety storage of those vials. So we developed this function. As you can see here, we have a dual lock design. With this lock, this cover could only be opened with 2 authorized people to be present at the same time. And now I'd like to open this cover. Now, as you can see here, all the canisters are marked with different colors. So I think it's very convenient for your management of all the stored samples. And next, that is the most important part of this products. That is the smart cover. As you can see here, with this smart cover, all the related informations of the liquid nitrogen stored in the container, like you can check the temperature of it and the liquid level of it. So with this smart cover, not only you will feel more convenient to store, to manage this container, but also the safety storage of the sample will be guaranteed. And now I'd like to introduce another tank. Also, it is YDS series, but what different from this tank to that tank is that, of course, it doesn't have the smart cover, but what's amazing is that it has a smart cap. So with this smart cap, you can read the same information like the temperature and the liquid level. So it offers the same function with that smart cap. So, but of course, this cap is optional for these products. And I think that's all for my part of the introduction of the aluminum liquid nitrogen container. Now I'd like to give my microphone to my colleague, Jane. She will introduce more of this product line. Let's welcome.
Thanks for your sharing. This is Jane, Sales Manager of Latin America. The next part will focus on the small size tanks. The first one is the transportation series. There is a special design inside. It's a sport base in the bottom of this tank. It can keep the safety during the transportation. Let's see inside. As you can see, there are 6 racks in this tank. I will take one to give you a better view. There are 6 books in these racks, and each box have 25 tubes. So for this model, we can hold 900 samples. And this one is our long-term sample storage series. The advanced vacuum and super insolution technology can reduce the evaporator loss. For this model, it can use for 3 months to storage the samples. Another better design is about the racks and tubes. As you can see, all of them are with round shapes. This special design can hardly increase the capacity of this model. I will give you a brief comparison between these two models. This one is 50 liters. It can hold 900 samples. And this one is 47 liters, but it can hold more than 1,100 liters. The next one is YDS 3580s. This is our normal models. We can provide more than 23 models with different capacity from 5 liters to 50 liters, also with different diameters. As you can see, both sides there are 2 handles. It's easy for handling. Some users may want to check the internal situation of this tank. We can provide such accessories. This one is called Smart Caps. The users can check the internal temperature and internal liquid level from the screen in the real time. We also can provide such transport car with 4 wheels. It's easy to move. And the last one is our YDH series. It's mainly used for the air transportation in a short distance, using the vapor liquid nitrogen to store the samples. And there's also a special material inside. This material can absorb and prevent the liquid nitrogen for a long time. At the meantime, if this tank dropped, there will be no liquid outflow. So that's all my brief introduction of these small volumes. The next part with my partner, Wendy.
Hello, all my friend. This is Wendy, Latin American director. Appreciate you can attend our online training today for the liquid nitrogen container. If you can issue the order in October, we can give you 5 to 10% discount. Today, that's all for today's training. Thank you. Bye bye.